welcome to
the Margins
podcast. Gotcha. Where we talk about books, the ones that leave a mark, start a conversation, and stay with you long after the last page. Guys, we're back. As we said, we have a treat for everyone listening to this episode. It's absolutely an arc. It's an arc read.
Yeah, technically it's an arc read.
But right on the cusp of release.
Yeah. By the time this episode is out, you guys will have about 3 to 5 days to check out our review, see if this is a book you want to get.
And wait with as much anticipation as is required.
Yeah.
In this episode, we are entering poison, mirror, treason through a twisted, sharp-witted retelling of Snow White that only T. Kingfisher could pull off.
Mm-hmm. I wonder, of course, because if you Google this book at all, the first thing you see from different people is that it's a retelling of Snow White.
Yeah.
But is it? You know, like it has similar themes and things going on, but for all intents and purposes, I don't even see this as, it couldn't even be a prequel.
No.
You know, it's just
so much its own
thing. It could be in the same world, but
yeah,
that's about it.
I know what you guys are thinking. What book are you guys talking about?
Oh, we haven't introduced it yet.
No, we haven't.
Oh, well, you know. So today, guys, we're getting into Hemlock and Silver by T. Kingfisher. This is special because this is actually an author that one of our listeners recommended. Emma. So shout out to you, Emma. I know you recommended Nettle and Bone, which is coming up soon. Yeah,
we actually were going to do... with arcs, what we typically do is we'll do a short, so a 20-minute episode, release it on our platforms, but it's not an official episode. So we're going to do Nettle and Bone as a full episode, and then this as a short because it was an arc. But because it's so close to the release date, we were like, let's do this one first.
Yeah.
Nettle and Bone, though, we are going to be covering, and it's also the book that I chose for the book club that I'm in. So me and the guys are reading Nettle and Bone as we speak. Have I started it? No, I haven't. I've been reading some other books. But yeah, Nettle and Bone. Emma had recommended Nettle and Bone and The Clockwork Boys. So both are in our TBR. You can check that out on our Goodreads.
And Dante, you recommended Brave New World. Don't trip. We got you.
Bro, we read that.
We've read that. So
that's actually the book club that I was in before this one. You can be in multiple, guys. My friends.
Who's
you can get with your friends. We could be friends.
Yeah.
That was the first book we did in that book club.
It's a good book.
It's a great book.
It's a great book.
It's a great book. Great series too.
And get into. Yeah. That and... So I read Fahrenheit 451.
Great book.
I read Brave New World right after. Great follow-up.
Oh, yeah. That and 1984.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, all great ones to read. Just make you paranoid about everyone and everything.
Yeah, don't trust anything. Government.
Yeah, Big Brother's fine. Love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, before we get too much into that... How you doing?
You know, hang it in there. You got positives and negatives. Roll the punches. This week, really focusing on gratitude. Even when you're in the shits. You know? So, doing well. What about you?
I'm good. Brutus is looking at me instead of forward. Come on, sit. This week's a little busy. So good.
Yeah, busy is good.
Good's busy. Busy is good. I have a film that I am in and that we are shooting over this weekend. It's a short film, and it's actually going to be shot on 16 millimeter film, physical film.
Awesome.
So it's a rarity. It's not done much now these days.
Everything's digital.
Everything's digital, but this is also, you gotta get it right.
Yeah.
Because if you run out of film, you run out of film.
Yeah, you're done.
Or you have to go buy more, and it is extremely expensive. So I'm really excited about getting that going. I also just signed on to do a potential feature
All right.
film. So yeah, things are moving. And
moving and grooving.
moving and grooving. So I'm happy about that.
That's good, man. Congrats.
Thank you, sir. What do we have this week for Between the Wines?
So this week, we chose Boomslang
Boomslang
by Thurlow Sellers. As you guys can see, there is a snake on here. Chose this wine for two reasons. One, Hemlock and Boomslang are akin. And then obviously the snake, right? Snake was a huge, how do I put it, character and plot device in Hemlock and Silver, right? So for those of you who have not read the book, the main character, Anja, she is a healer that specializes in poisons. Not just poisoning people per se, but finding the remedy for these poisons, right? And so she milks snakes and used adder venom to deal with various issues, which we will get into a little bit later.
But this is not poison.
This, I mean, it depends. It depends on who you're asking.
Yeah. But I'm just asking if you poisoned me.
In a very literal way, not really.
Yeah, but maybe taking some time off my life.
A little bit. Well, it depends on who you ask. There's a myth, local theory that says a glass of red wine is actually pretty good for you.
It's good for the heart. Yeah, I tried telling my doctor that. A year after practicing it, I went into my doctor's appointment and I was like, Doc, I got you. I've been doing the 6 ounces. I think it's 6 ounces. Or maybe it was 10. Maybe it was less. I don't know. Of red wine a night. Because my family has heart issues. Or an issue of heart issues. He said, my guy, his words exactly, that is an outdated research paper or whatever study that was done on a very specific demographic, specifically though a Mediterranean background. You're not that. And
No.
he said, actually, that's not good. You should probably not be doing that every night.
Probably should cut back.
Yeah. He's like, it could be bad for your liver specifically. So
Yeah.
I said, oh. Cool.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Do all the other things good for your liver. You know?
Yeah.
But, so yeah, we're drinking Boomslang. It's good. Pretty smooth. What do you think? Any hints you get in there?
Alcohol?
Definitely alcohol.
No, it's good though. No bite.
No bite at all. Yeah.
Especially for a cab, I would expect a little bit more of a bite. I like that.
Yes, sir. So, with that being said, let's do a small overview, right? So, Anja, the main character, she is a healer who downed poison by design. She is summoned to save Princess Snow, only to uncover a hidden world in mirrors and a spell that might kill them all. Think Dark Reimagining meets Clever Science. This is a great book. For me, let me break it down for you guys in layman's terms.
Okay.
This book follows a young woman. She's 27, Anja. She is a healer, as we just said, specializing in poisons. She gets commissioned by the king to find out what's ailing his daughter, who has came down with a sickness that he's tried everything and they cannot figure out why she's sick. Finds Anja, says, hey, we need your help. We got this going on in my family. At first, she didn't want to fuck with it. But he's the king, so what are you going to do?
No choice.
Right? And so you get to follow through this story with her. You meet Princess Snow, her nurse, Javier, Aaron. Those are the bodyguards the king sent to protect and guide Anja. So that's a super brief overview. Do you want to get into about the author?
Yeah.
Young T.
Yeah.
Kingfisher. I know we already said that we got put on by Emma.
Yeah. So T. Kingfisher is a Hugo winner, master of fairy tale retellings, returns to fantasy with an older than usual heroine whose remedy is poison, not magic.
I don't like that. Older than usual.
Yeah. Actually, not. I know I said yes to the 27. Not positive that it was. She was 27.
I think that I'm mixing her up with
not quite dead yet.
Not quite dead yet.
But I also, because when I was doing the casting,
She's gonna be 35.
it was somewhere older.
I think she's 35.
Okay. That's pretty young, guys.
Sorry, T. Kingfisher.
Guys, that's pretty young.
She's not 27. I think she's 35.
She's, yeah.
And because she was a bit
Ripe
older.
young age of 35.
Right. It's young.
Super young.
You know, for some people, 30 is the new 20.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So her life is just getting started.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not projecting at all. Okay, returning to this. Quirky, deeply humane, and never predictable. I did want to bring forward that T. Kingfisher is actually a pen name. Her real name is Ursula Vernon. She's an American author, illustrator, voice actress. She does everything from comic books to YA to fantasy fiction, everything in between. Some of her more notable works include the Dragon Breath series and the Twisted Ones. And both are under T. Kingfisher's name. In addition to her books, Vernon is an accomplished illustrator, contributing her own art to many of her projects. She has a distinctive style that combines whimsy with a touch of darkness, appealing to readers of all ages. I remember Emma's introduction to us for her was written beautifully and very intriguing, and I feel like this was pretty similar to that. I am excited, like I said before, to get into Nettle and Bone, to get into Clockwork Boys, and I did scan through. She has a ton of books. She has a ton of books and comic books. I did not get into too many of her illustrations. I mean, naturally, I saw the ones that she had done on like her covers, but I would love to see some of the comic books or any of the other illustrations that she's worked on.
Yeah, wasn't too familiar with her until after the recommendation, and now read this, and I enjoyed Hemlock and Silver. I thought it was pretty good. To be fair, the fantasy aspect doesn't really kick in until pretty late into the book.
Yeah.
Like mid.
Yeah.
You're like middle way through the book. And you're like, oh, okay, here goes the fantasy. Before then, it could have totally just been, fiction. Regular fiction.
I had told you that while I was reading it, it felt almost like you were following someone doing a very, not mundane because she's dealing with poison, so super interesting. It was like sitting down watching a Ken Burns documentary on something that could be mundane, that could be whatever, but made so interesting. So I was like, I could be following a doctor, I could be following a nurse, a teacher, whatever you have it, insert, and just their attention to detail, their backstory of why they're so passionate about what they're going or what they're looking into. Because when someone is dripping of ambition in anything, a lot of times when you ask them what their story is about or you hear about that story, it's intriguing. And so that's why I felt like while I was listening to this, I was like, oh, so they were basically putting this, again, her job's, it says healer, but she even says, I work with poisons. That's what I do. But we're following this person that does specifically that. And I was like, we could, that could be the whole book.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yeah. She loves what she does.
Loves what she does.
There's a great story into how she got into it. Right.
And then even some of the intrigue with the king and everything was just like, okay, again, could be part of it.
Yeah.
You could make a story that is nonfiction and it would still be just super interesting.
Yeah, it would have been just as good, even without the fantastical aspects. It would have been great.
Yeah, somewhere in the universe there is that book.
Right.
You know, there's that stream of thought that's where it went. But like you were saying, about midway through,
about midway,
you get the fantastical aspect of it.
Yeah.
And you're almost like, oh yeah, I forgot that this. Well, for us who were new to T. Kingfisher, we weren't exactly expecting that. I knew that there was going to be some sort of fantasy aspect of it, but I was almost like, oh, okay, I guess we can go down this road.
Yeah, I was going in pretty blind, and I think that's why the switch up kind of was so blaring for me. Because at that point, I was already invested in the non-fantastical story. I'm like, oh, yeah, this is great. It's a story about someone who gets poisoned, this lady who's great at poisons, and the time at which people are not really sure about medicine and healing, and things are still, like, there's science, but there's also still a little bit of guesswork going on. A lot of bit of guesswork going on, and she's just trying shit out. And I was like, oh yeah, I could totally get behind this. You know, I think that, last week we went over like plot devices or literary devices, and I think that one of the things I really enjoyed in Hemlock and Silver that helps the plot go forward was that she uses really mundane things to push the story forward. So a mundane thing is like, what do you do for work? Her job. She made that very interesting. And what made it so interesting was how interested Anja was in her own career. It's very apparent how she talks about what she's doing, how she goes on these trains of thoughts. You know, she gets kind of lost in thought and what she does. And what she does is almost who she is. And you realize why as you get further into the story, right? Her reason why. So that's one great one. Also, I'm not going to call it like a character flaw, but the fact that she's older, but still very much unsure in certain things. She's very sure of her knowledge, but in practice, she's unsure. That's very real life. You know, as we're some 30 odds, right? So we understand having that level of, well, I've been through this. We have the experience, but then in action, you still have to pay like attention and have a little bit of seed of doubt, and that's okay. And I think that really helps push the story forward because it leaves room for other people to fill that space, like Javier, who's very silent, strong, and sure.
Yeah.
Right. So I thought it was cool. I thought it was great.
I liked the fact that I love that you brought that up, that she was of this age, and the things that she was confident in was her work, what she studied to like the umpth degree. But I did love how T. Kingfisher also illustrated, like, she's put a physical aspect. She's like, I'm taller than most men. You know, Anja was taller than most men. And so she always felt like she was taller than the king when the king came. And I just know that that was also like for her to be like kind of a sore thumb, you know, sticking out.
Yeah, she always kind of felt like she stuck out, you know, whether it's the field that she was in or, as you said, her physical attributes.
Yeah.
So,
but I also love the interested. It reminded me when you brought up the whole, when someone's interested in what they're doing, when they're that ambitious, it makes for a better story. My acting mentor, coach, God rest his soul, Bill Howie, would always say, be interested, not interesting. So whenever you're doing something like a scene specifically, don't do it so that you're like, oh, this would be like interesting choice, opposed to you being interested in what the scene's about, or what that character's going through.
Right.
I
like that.
It makes for a very different outcome. But yeah, with that, would you like to do some fan casting?
Always hype for some fan casting. Mm-hmm. Let's go.
Alrighty. So for Anja, the poison healer, I had 3 come to mind.
Okay.
First one was Phoebe Waller-Bridge from Fleabag, which I
looked up last week.
You did.
Yes.
You added that nice art.
Yep.
She's also in the newest Indiana Jones, I believe. She was in that one. Fantastic writer, actor, everything. She's amazing. But as far as age goes, wit, comedy, even physicality, because she's taller too, would be amazing at this.
I can see that. Mm-hmm. I can see that.
Carrie Coon, she is in The Gilded Age, The Leftovers, and then I know that she was also one to be on the newest season of White Lotus. She did amazing on there. I could absolutely get behind her.
I see where you're going with this.
Yeah.
I see where you're going with that.
The third one, though, is the one that I'm most... I think Phoebe's was the front runner in my mind, but someone who is right there with her. I'm going to try to pronounce this. I should have looked at how it sounds out phonetically, but Wunmi Mosaku. She was in Sinners, which you have not yet finished.
Haven't finished. Started it, but...
How far into it did you get?
I fell asleep easily 10 or 15 minutes
Okay,
in.
so not there. Did you watch Lovecraft Country?
Of course, loved it.
Okay.
Super hurt when they canceled it.
She was the one that...
I'm familiar. I looked up a picture.
Oh, you know
now.
who she is? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I just looked up a picture, guys.
Respect on her
it
name.
on my phone.
The respect on her name.
Yeah.
Fantastic actor. She is amazing. My first introduction to her was Lovecraft Country, which everyone 5 out of 5 stars acting.
Yeah.
And then I saw her on Loki, and then found her again on
Loki.
Sinners.
She was great on Loki.
She was amazing on Loki. But yeah, she is also in that age range, or could play that age range, I should say. I won't assume. And just an amazing actor, and like witty, but can play serious too.
Right. I only had one person, way off cuff from what you did, though.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie.
Good.
Jessica Chastain.
Yeah. I mean, on most things, unless it's very specific to ethnicity, I would say yes to her on everything. She's just an amazing actor.
I don't know why I thought about her, but Jessica Chastain. But I do see where you're going with the people you chose, and I can totally get behind it.
Yeah.
Even don't know her name whatsoever, but she was in Game of Thrones.
Gwendolyn Christie.
Yes.
I
Gwendolyn.
think, her name in Game of Thrones, it was Brienne of
Tarth.
Tarth. Yeah. That's right.
She would do great. She would do great in this as Anja.
Yeah, she would. Yeah, that's a great one.
Because she's like strong character. She can play vulnerable.
You said the tall thing earlier, or when we were talking about that, and she came to mind. I forgot within that amount of time.
So Brienne of Tarth, I think she could do Anja. That'd be a really good pick too.
Princess Snow, I would have to backdate actresses because I don't know young actresses that.
She's like what, 12 or something?
Yeah. I think you could cast anyone from 15 below, just because how you look.
Mature she is.
Yeah. I went with just someone that I thought of immediately, Julia Butters. She played Once upon a time in Hollywood. She played the young actress that worked with Leo.
Okay.
On that Western.
Yeah.
She's also now, I think, too old to play by maybe 2 years. She's in the newest Freaky Friday. Was it Freakier Friday that's releasing soon? She plays Lindsay Lohan's daughter.
Okay, cool.
So she's doing great. Did you have anyone in mind for Princess Snow?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Javier. Yeah, I put Channing Tatum. Not who I thought of immediately. And I will tell you, that was a last ditch effort, which is funny because my third choice, I will tell you, is I should have just thought of immediately because of the name. But I said Channing Tatum. I'd love to see him stretch into that. That'd be fun. I think he's played,
He's played
everything.
A wide array of things. Yeah.
Second was David Harbour. Stranger Things. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And the Red whatever from in the new Avengers or Thunderbolts.
Yes.
He's hilarious and can also play stoic. But the third person that I thought on the drive here, as soon as I looked, I should have said it because it was Javier, but Javier Bardem could play Javier too.
I know that guy is 100%.
No need. No Country for Old Men.
Mm-hmm.
007, James Bond.
00. Mm-hmm. All right.
Do you have anyone else for Javier?
No, not at all.
Okay. Shadowcat. That would be obviously voice acting. I mean, you could always throw in Andy Serkis just for shits and giggles. But Matt Berry, who is in the newest series, which just ended, but on What We Do in the Shadows. Mm-hmm. And then Ben Whishaw, who is the voice of Paddington.
Bear?
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
I'm actually not positive on that. God damn it. You said bear? And I'm like, actually, I'm not sure because it says, oh, that is hilarious. I didn't look at the fan casting for the Queen.
Yeah.
Look at who it is.
Whoa, she popped up.
Gwendolyn Christie is actually on the list already.
Yeah, that's awesome. But
Guys,
I don't know about the Queen, though. Anja, yes. Queen,
Yeah. Eva Green, absolutely, I could see that. Mm-hmm. Another Casino Royale, Penny Dreadful. Yeah, she did great in that. Everyone else, acting, like as far as like who needs to be cast?
Nah, not really.
We're good.
Could be anyone. Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty clean. If you guys got some ideas, let us know. After you guys read the book.
Let us know. Before we get to the next segment, it was a question I had back when we were talking about T. Kingfisher or Ursula Vernon. What would you use, and whether it be examples, what category of your life would you use a pen name?
So I've done this before.
Mm-hmm.
I was a pretty successful company. I stopped it because imposter syndrome, pressures from other areas, overworked, stuff like that. But I built a company that...
This is Scrubs?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Everyone thought would be for a woman.
Yeah.
But no one knew that it was me. It was a guy. And I built like one of the earliest scrub companies and body butter companies. And we did well. Like we had some great partnerships. Good offers to do more, and ultimately I ended up just stepping away from it. Still get requests because our stuff had great quality. That was one where I chose not to do it under my own moniker, under myself, mostly because I think that people see men, but even more so people see black men, and they automatically, even if they don't want to, they get this preconceived notion of who they are, how they're going to act, what they have to offer, the depth of what they have to offer. And I really understand. I would much rather people have a blank slate and let me paint that, and then even still leave room for improvement in depth once you get to know me. But that's not the case most times. I actually sent you a clip or something similar, right? Today I sent Stratton a clip, And so that's honestly the reason why I chose to do it. I want people to interact with the product without my image giving in the way of them accepting it and how good it was.
And that's why you use the moniker Bonnie Ann Jones?
Exactly.
That who it was?
Exactly.
I know you didn't ask, but what would I use it for?
Yeah,
Let
what
me
about you,
answer.
Stratton? You're also here, I guess.
I think because it's not always. My gut reaction was actually to go the opposite way, where it's used it for not even a noble reason, but almost a logical reason.
Yeah.
There's also those that do it because they want to go like. I mean, this is going to date me, but Garth Brooks came out with when he tried to not leave country, but he's like, I'm going to try alternative. He came out with this other name, didn't tell anyone until everyone saw him perform, and they were like, that's Garth Brooks with a wig on. It was nuts. But, which I openly support anyone who wants to, think outside the box, go outside of their comfort zone.
And entertainment, I think it's pretty popular, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when it comes to like writing music or writing anything. A lot of times you'll see that. When it comes to film, there's a lot of directors that will use them for a negative reason. So if they finish a project, they don't love it.
Yeah.
There's one that I'll have to look it up, but it's famously used by directors. And so when you see it at the end, directed by, you're like, oh, this was not directed by that. It's a made up name, obviously. So yeah, I guess for me, my gut reaction is to put it on something that I'm not exactly proud of that I've done, like say, a film that I've done. Not that I'm ever, I'm proud of all my films.
Of course. Yeah.
Just about all of them. But I could see, that being used in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess also for, like I said, a creative aspect, maybe down the road, I want to release something, try something out. When I was growing up, all through middle school, through high school, and then into my early 20s, I wrote quite a bit of poetry.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, went to the, jazz house and performed. No, I didn't. So maybe that. Maybe if I came out with a book of poetry,
yeah,
probably wouldn't just do it with my name.
A lot of times people do it's just you almost get to like create this
mystique,
you know, or there's strategic reasons like Jamie Foxx and Malia. Is it Malia Obama? Which Obama daughter? She's
rights.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's Malia.
Yeah. Might be. But anyways, she chose not to use our last name, right? Because she didn't want people to see that and just jump to conclusions like, oh, she's only here because her dad. She wants to feel like people watch her films because she's good.
Yeah, she is.
Take
She's
her
done
work
some
for what
great
it is.
stuff.
So there's people out there. There's people out there.
Yeah, that was just something that crossed my mind.
It's a good question.
Thank you.
Great lead up into this next segment.
What's the next segment?
5 hard questions.
5 hard questions.
All right, guys. So, this is our favorite segment. This is a segment where we take themes from the books and we tie them into real world issues, themes, things that we're going through.
Reflective of our lives, and how we not forcefully fit them into our everyday, but kind of liken them to it.
Yeah, we want you guys to be able to interact with these questions as well.
Yeah,
and we hope that the questions are open enough to where you're like, they become engaging and conversational.
Yeah.
This is like this is what we can add to the book talk realm, right?
We want to add to the
trying
conversation.
To say like, oh, this sucks because this, or this is better than that, like, and doing these hard critiques. We want to have a deeper conversation about the things that these authors are maybe trying to show people, or stuff that happens in between the lines.
Yeah.
Right.
With that said, before we go to number one, I saw a video today. Maybe it was yesterday. Doesn't matter. But there was a creator that said that if you are a creator, specifically on Book Talk, that you owe your following to be direct or clear on how you rate books. So this is where I am. I guess if I'm not trying to be a contrarian, because I'm not. Naturally, I'm not. I promise. But I didn't love the demand that was being told to me. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
But that he was saying, like,
tell me what to do.
Yeah, don't tell me what to do. But he was just basically saying, like, it's not fair to say every book is good unless you tell your following, this is how I do review books. Like,
yeah.
I don't want you don't want to lead your following down the path of reading a book that's not great, or not letting them know what your scale is.
Right.
So that was something from the beginning that we talked about. And again, not to beat a dead horse, but we aren't super interested in giving it a solid grade. We'll tell you if there's aspects.
We'll definitely let you know.
Definitely let you know.
Absolutely.
But as far as what we want to bring to the table, what we felt was worth sharing was more so our experiences with these books, opposed to giving it a grading scale.
Yeah, and I think this is it's a lot more natural to how we actually talk about books. Like if before we start this podcast, me and you read a book, we end up having these long, in-depth conversations about the things that are happening to the characters, their growth, and I think that's a better way to break down a book and its main tenets and the things that might actually matter to the readers. Because when you read a book, anyone can say, like, oh, this is good, this is bad, this is a 4, this is a 5, this is a 1, whatever. That's not really telling you anything. I've read poorly written books that had parts of it that I was like, wow, this is very real life. I've read great books, that honestly, for what it's worth, can't say that someone else might have liked them. They're just things in this book that I thought were a 5 or a 4 or whatever the case may be, and that might not be the same. You might not have the same path as me.
Yeah.
So without trying to walk a line that other people may not be able to follow, I think this is a better way forward, because anyone can hop in these conversations.
Yeah.
We try to keep it specific yet broad, to allow other people's point of views to kind of
join the conversation.
Yeah. That's all we really wanted. This is a conversational.
It's a forum.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll leave the grading to those that excel with that, because there are those that I myself partake in. To Ramble, Austin and Richard. Love that podcast. I love how they break down the books in the different literary terms and everything.
I think most book talk, but just book talk platforms are gonna rate a book. They're gonna say, like, oh, here's my haul from July. Here's my top 5. This is why you should read it. And one thing that I've said before, I probably said it already on here, I say it all the time, life is about manipulation, whether you like it or not. It's, people have like a negative relationship with manipulation, but it's a very human thing. Like when you wake up every day, you have an idea of what could make your day go the best way you want it to go, and you proceed to enact that on everyone else around you. Your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your boss, your coworker. You act a certain way to make sure that these people acquiesce to create your day and make it go as good as possible. Most likely it happens somewhere in the middle, right? And sometimes you have good days, sometimes you have bad days. Most days it's somewhere in the middle. You have to be okay with that part. So I don't really care. I'm not really against anyone having a rating scale, or a grading scale, I should say. I also have a personal one. But I do think And it was actually your idea to not have a grading scale, because at first I was like, oh, how can we break this down in different ways that people can interact? And you're like, actually, I'm not really interested. I don't really want to do that. And it took me a couple of dark episodes that you guys would never see.
Yeah. Ever.
To like come along to the idea. But after I sat with it, I appreciate it. I think it's a more genuine way to discuss anything, right? After, amongst people, one-to-one, if we do a live or something or whatever the case may be.
Oh yeah, if you guys reach out and ask, we'll tell you.
We'll tell you, and
That's
then we can have those conversations.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just what the podcast, what this part is for, is what we've already explained to in great depth now, what it's about.
Yeah.
But as far as interactions, like Chris said, we're down to tell you.
All right, so 5 hard questions, guys.
5 hard questions.
So, question 1.
Mm-hmm.
What small act of caregiving would you risk your own comfort for? Like Anja drinking poison to save others. And just while he's thinking about this, guys, Anja's not like actively drinking poison to save others. She's passively doing it because she has to test the poison on herself. She tested on the roosters, that she tested on herself, so she can find antidotes to help people. That's how she's saving people. It's not like she's actually just waking up every day to drink poison.
I think at least what comes naturally to me in my mind is the act of both being a partner, in whether that be in whatever form of relationship that you're in, but being a solid partner, or I wouldn't say more so, but very effectively as a parent. There's things that you yourself are going to have to or need to partake of before anyone else can. You don't want your kid to have to do trial by fire by every instance.
Yeah.
Not to say that there will be cases where that's for their best. But really, you're the one testing out, at least in my experience, going that extra mile to try things out, test them out before introducing them to your partner, especially your kid, is something that I find calming in the long run.
Right.
I say that because I'd rather not everyone do it at once. This could be, hey guys, we're going to be we're changing our system up in this way, whether it be how we organize a room, how we organize or go about our day, whatever it may be. A new system is now going to be going into place. I'd rather test that system out myself, work it out.
Work out the kinks.
Yeah, work out the kinks, and then do some trial runs, bring them in, just so that we're not all, running with our heads cut off,
Yeah, I get you.
So that's something. There's also an aspect of it that, I don't know, it just kind of sparked the thought. Growing up, there's so many things that I remember not wanting, that I had to go through. And we're not talking about like life changing, but some drastic things where I knew they were hard. We'll take sports, for example. Hell Week, football. I knew what I had to go through. I knew what that experience was. I knew what, the consequences, both good and bad. I knew what I didn't expect was when my younger brother, when Sage ended up getting into sports and wanting to go to football, when I knew his Hell Week was coming up, having that, like, being sick, almost to the point of me feeling sick, that I knew he was going to have to go through it. I knew he was going to be stronger for it, was going to be able to fall into place and figure things out a lot quicker.
Yeah.
But the idea of him having to do it, I was sick. And there's been plenty of experiences since then that he was the one that I thought of. any of my younger siblings, sports obviously specifically because he and I played the same sport, but just life experiences too.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine what that's gonna now be with Max.
Yeah.
You know, whether
levels.
that's just life in general. I think about that, about him going to school, him making friends, people not being nice to him, me having to do something to those types of people. Anyway, that's my answer. What about you?
So when I read this question, the first thing that came to mind was, I guess it might be a bit abstract, might not be, depending on who you are. For me, like an act of caregiving is the ability or the willingness to compromise or sacrifice. Mm-hmm. When you're a bachelor, you put that to the backseat.
Absolutely.
You know, like your comfortability is everything to you. Mm-hmm. Whether that means having just a mattress and a TV and a game system, you know, and being super comfortable and happy with that. For me, it was like traveling and living abroad, you know, having to realize that same amount of energy that I put into that, I have to put into now building for other people. And I may not be able to enjoy it the same way that they're enjoying it. I have to embrace the work and the compromise and enjoy because they get to enjoy it. You know, it's a more mature way of engaging with these things. So I would say that's, you know, in short, that's an act of caregiving that I have risked my own comfort for. Mm-hmm. You know, yeah. Number two. If you could create one rule of nature that can never be broken, no matter how whimsical, what would it be? And what does it say about what you are afraid to lose?
Everyone gets a goodbye.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Mm-hmm. Although, if you allow me to respond to this,
the
first thing that popped in my mind was it's quite human. Inequality is human. Mm-hmm. Unlike not everyone gets the ability to say goodbye. Just using that as an example, right? I wonder what that would do. Would it make people
to the whole ecosystem
like care more, care less because they know they're gonna get that? That's it. That's really good.
Yeah,
that's really good.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because I do see that there could be a domino, a butterfly, whatever you want to call it, effect. Mm-hmm. Where the people can become dependent on it.
Yeah.
Does it? But I feel like it only allows so much comfort. Sure, I got to say goodbye, but what if the scene is, and I'm definitely not going to use actual. We'll use friends because I'm not taking out any family members right now. But I'll just so that we keep it pretty circular. You could be dependent on when the family members closest to you, especially when they get older, there's an expectation an assumption of when they'll go. Yeah. But let's say that the goodbye effect is that, I wouldn't say hologram, but that person just shows up and they have X amount of time to do it. No matter, I'm going to say for mine that they get as much time as they want, pending that it's not just so they can stick around longer. But that everything can be said and closure can be made. And we'll also say consent is needed, that the person wants to talk to them. Because there's definitely those that would love to talk to you, but you're like, I don't need that. So with that said, just so I don't go far off, it's one thing to be dependent and knowing that like, oh, so-and-so was in the hospital, they were getting older, but you come to do the pod, or you're in here on a day we're not doing the podcast, and I show up, and it's, that.
Yeah.
So there are times where you could be dependent on it.
Right.
But it still doesn't take away the fact that that person is now
Gone.
not there.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yeah.
Lights out.
Like, this is it.
Yeah.
There's a TV show. I think it's The Circle. And so towards the end, they might do it throughout, actually. Every time someone gets eliminated, it's like a social media game.
The real,
They get to go say goodbye to one person. And they can sow seeds of mischief. Or they can just go see them because like, they thought they were really cool. If you guys have not checked out The Circle, please do. Super awesome.
Is it still going?
Huh?
I don't think... Is it still going?
No, just go check out the episode.
Yeah, I remember it being big.
Yeah. But it was fun. I think that that's pretty similar to this. I think that's pretty cool. That's a really great idea that you thought of.
Might have to write something about that.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah.
There's a lot to unpack.
What about you?
If I can create one rule of nature that can never be broken, no matter how whimsical. This is kind of controversial, probably.
Damn it.
Sorry, guys. Please don't cancel us.
But before you do that, word from our sponsor. Oh, wait, we don't have any yet.
Well, that means we can't get dropped.
Or picked up. Okay, here we go.
All right, so the ability to not shut down communication. I think that people have a lack of understanding or appreciation for the right to communicate. And when people hear that, they think, well, I have the right to not communicate with you then. Mm-hmm. Yeah, on a fundamental basis, sure. You have the right to remain silent and not listen. But on a human level, on a biological level, it does no good. We can never move forward. I honestly do think the ability to sit, listen, respond, try to find, if not a middle ground, an understanding of the other side, and not like an echo chamber kind of way where you're just trying to hear them repeat what you say. Like, you're actually trying to understand their point of view and where they're coming from. Even if you guys can't find a middle ground, I think that's so important. And we live in an era where now it's okay to just not deal with things because you don't want to. And so I have anxiety, I have this. Join the club. Historically, since humans have been here, we have all dealt with the same emotions. There's no new emotion that has popped up for us. There's no new illness, mental or physical, that has popped up now that probably has never plagued us in history. So with that being said, it's okay to disagree. And it's okay for you not to be outraged that you have to communicate with someone. So that's what I would... That's the rule. You have to communicate 2 ways, even if it's a difficult conversation. Because I do think, and this is the second part of the question, what does it say about what I'm afraid to lose? I'm afraid that the world will end and humans will cease to exist without ever really giving each other a try. I remember having this conversation with someone, and it was just like this is cool. Like, yeah, like we don't have to be cool, but damn, that sucks. I feel like we never really gave it a try. You know, it would be cool if we actually gave it a try. Let's just talk about it and see what happens. You know, let's see if we can still be cool. And I think that there's not enough people who are willing or able to build those kind of bridges and be okay with being uncomfortable and having those conversations.
There are follow-up questions.
Yeah.
Because I do like the fact that you, to a degree, defined communicating, that it needs to go both ways, that it needs to be to understand the other person. Because that takes, I mean, even if you could whimsically, magically, forcefully make it so that the person does go into said conversation that way, I do see the benefits of that. And I don't think it's pessimistic to assume that that's the majority of the time. That's not what we go into these conversations, or if we are wanting to cut someone out, that's where our mind is. Where, had we both been open-minded to hear the other person, there could have been a different outcome. Sure. But what happens? At some point, there has to be a compromise, and this is shout out to my interpersonal communications professor. Had to write a paper on this. A compromise is a lose-lose. Absolutely.
We both lost.
Agreed.
We both had to give ground.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to give ground. I'm not asking you to forgive the person if it was a controversial thing that pissed you off or you didn't like. I'm not asking you to change your point of view. I'm just asking you not to have this preconceived notion and your doors shut, your windows closed. So when you guys have this conversation, even if you still leave that situation feeling the same way about that person, you've now gained a new perspective that you would not have had you not been open to that conversation. So
you're not saying that. Okay, that's what I was getting at. All I saw was it being funny enough, circle, because both would be explaining themselves till they were blue in the face. But what you're saying is that we can't just shut ourselves down, which I believe is actually the words that you said, so I probably should have assumed that. But you can't just shut yourself down to the conversation in general, but that the said conversation should be had no matter if the outcome is no matter if the outcome is at the end you disagree and you walk away from it disagreeing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Because I truly believe that as soon as someone thinks, feels, or believes something, it's now real. Even if you don't understand, they have now created something that you have to come up against in communication, mentally, physically, whatever the case may be. You can't say that, and I'm saying you can't say, but I used to be like this. I didn't give a fuck. I was just living life one-to-one, day-to-day. And then, what really helped me in my communication and my interpersonal relationships was when I realized, okay, so rather than calling this person a dumbass because they think this, and they might be wrong, the moment they believe that to be true, it's not true whether I know it's true or not. Because it's true to them, and they're actually a real fucking human. They're a tangible thing, and I gave them the grace to be a part of my life. So I have to give them the grace to speak and tell me about their point of view, whether I think it's shitty or not. I'm not asking you to change your point of view. I'm not asking you to care more. I'm not asking you to care less. I'm asking you to be open to that communication. I'm not going to go into the story because I've already said it again. Yeah. But like me, when I rented the Airbnb from the lady who was racist, right? Yeah. She instantly told me, she was like, oh, I didn't know you're a black. I don't ever rent these out to black people because you guys all do drugs, have sex too much, and you're too loud. And I stayed there for a week. And by the end of me being there, she was like, I would love for you to stay here long term. And we talked about all the growth that we had throughout that week. That happened over a lot of very uncomfortable conversations. Imagine that first night, you know? You have to be okay with comprehending where other people are coming from. Otherwise, you would never be able to go forward. Yeah. And humans run that risk. We can easily hit the button. And it's World War III.
Set your algorithm. Yeah.
It's done. You know, you never have to go outside that bubble. You never have to, and you can die that way and think you're correct. But I think it's a tragedy that happens because you never get to be a complete person. Not like a circular person, because that's 2D, a spherical person. I don't care if you're whole, but 360 like a ball of water floating in the air.
Yeah.
You don't have to be perfectly spherical, but you're trying to keep that mold. And I think that's super important to being a good human. Even for people who are really great and that care about everyone. And I'm not listening to this other person because their point of view is hurting other people. You're actually not being as great of a person as you think you are, because there's always room to hear someone else out. Even if you don't care about changing your point of view, there's no one's perfect. Room for improvement for everyone. Sorry that was long-winded.
Did you get the idea when I said consent?
No.
Did that spark it? Okay, I was wondering if that sparked it, because I was like,
no. But that's yeah. Like, consent is super important in like physical aspects.
Yes.
Right. Mostly because there's consequences. There's physical consequences you have to live with. I don't care so much about mental consent, because even in your own mind, you'll have thoughts that you don't want to have.
Oh yeah.
You get me? Like, so I can't hold someone else to something that I myself can't be held to.
Yeah.
Which is why I say that people don't really comprehend or understand the depth of what communication is. Because everyone in the world, there's not a person in the world who controls every thought that they ever think. You know, you could look at something and someone says, don't think of the color red. And now you're thinking about a red rose, a red toy truck. You know what I mean? Like,
just red. I'm thinking red. Yeah.
Color red. Like, so even you don't have control over that. So how can you ever hold someone to that point of view or that grade scale?
Okay.
Right?
I like that.
But physically, yes. Correct. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Because there's
to be
real
clear,
consequences.
Sponsors.
Yes.
Potential sponsors.
As far as potential sponsors.
Yeah. Fresca.
Ted, you should totally sponsor us, though. TED Talks, you would sponsor us.
Fresca, every week we have one.
We do.
So.
Question 3. Can doubt make you sharper? And when does it just slow you down? Like, at what point does that shift happens? So it's kind of a two-parter.
I won't get into the weeds with this. Yes, doubt can make you sharper, makes you aware. Sure, there are those that can go blind into something and then they're indifferent while they're making that choice. I'd like to count myself among most that would have their doubts and just be aware of those things. Do I think that in some cases that will slow you down? Yes. Example, I had an interaction with a celebrity recently due to a service that was provided. So I had a Zoom call with them, and me being someone who does business development, has focused a lot on networking most of their lives and trying to get, again, I've said this before on other episodes, but trying to make an experience or an interaction be juiced to like the maximum.
You want to get the most that you can out of it.
The most that you can.
Yeah.
So I had prepped so much, and do I regret doing that? No. But there were other things that came into the equation that threw me off.
Yeah.
And because of some of the doubts that I had, I do believe that it slowed me down. And I still had a great outcome, still had great interaction with said person.
Yeah.
But all of my expectations or hopes were much higher than what was achieved. So I could see where my doubts outweighed that. Where I could have been focusing on the logistical end of what was going to happen. So yeah, I'll keep that one to that.
Okay, that's good. I like that, and really, really good reward example of how like your doubts play a part in your hopes, right, and your intentions. Because they seem so counterintuitive, right? You would think that doubts and intentions are separate, but they're really the same coin.
Side by side, yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. So for myself, can doubt make you sharper and when does it slow you down? Yes, I agree. You know, doubt can definitely make you sharper. I think that to have the wherewithal to know that you can fail makes you want to try harder not to fail. Unfortunately, we're human, and there's such thing as like a self-fulfilled prophecy, where it happens because you believe. I think, and therefore I am.
Yeah.
Right.
Law of attraction.
Law of attraction. I do think that the last part of that equation is Occam's razor. Keep it simple. Oftentimes, the simplest choice is the best choice, and we overcomplicate things, which does create the roadblocks and convolutes the sharper image that we're trying to get to. So that's kind of how doubt can help, but too much doubt now tips the scale. That line that we walk, it's tough. I know people who don't have a lot of doubt at all. I envy them for that. I'm not gonna lie. I've always wished I had like less self-awareness. But I do understand that like being self-aware allows me to be sharp in other areas, right? Yeah. But it's all good. So yeah, keep it simple. Yes, it can make you sharper, and it will slow you down when it becomes too much and you have too much doubt. You allow yourself to start believing in the doubt. Just like I said, I actually brought this up last question. We have thoughts that you don't control, right? You don't want to think, I can't do this. You just end up having that thought, right? And if you don't control that thought, it now starts to tip the scales. Question number 4. When logic and science fail to explain the world around you, how do you adapt, or do you double down?
It's a weird. I know, is it weird? But for me, I guess that's like a scary area, because if it doesn't make sense, when logic and science fail to explain the world, it's almost like you accept. It's almost like c'est la vie. Like that's what it is. You
have to. I'm not gonna say you have to. So for me, to answer this question, I double down.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it. I instantly enter the fuck it stage, because I've done all the loops I can do. If I don't say fuck it, goes back to the previous question, lots of self-doubt.
Yeah.
I may not achieve where I'm trying to get to. And this is actually something I learned through error, right? So I used to try to figure out another way through. I'm trying to adapt, trying to change who I am. I'm trying to fit the mold, be the water that fits the cup or whatever, the glass, the shape of the glass, which is great in some situations. But when you've done your due diligence and you're still in like a I don't know mode, personally, I think it's okay to double down. Because if you fail, at least you won't live with the regret of not trying enough or having the intention, or be like, damn, I just didn't believe in myself. Or you get me? Like, you fail, it's like, well, I did my best. And that's a much better feeling than regret.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like playing cards.
Yeah, I think even though mine was super short, I think that's what my answer is. Not too, but my answer is accept what it is and move forward.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like No, actually, I don't even need to go deeper in that. I was thinking there are things in life that, like, because it's not science, because science or logic can't explain it, it's then left to common man to make their assumption. And for that reason, there can be a divide. Most likely there is a divide.
Yeah.
There's always a divide.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I don't think that everyone's going to double down.
No.
You know, I think that some people would think, like, and rightfully so,
Yeah.
there's too much to lose, right? If I double down, I could be wrong in many different ways rather than just kind of wrong. And that's okay. Like, some people tiptoe the line, and that's cool too. There's pros and cons to everything.
Yeah.
It just depends on how you like to play your cards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last question, guys.
Last question.
Does a relatable, flawed hero make you believe in the story more, or just remind you how fragile we all are?
I love a flawed hero. I love a flawed hero. Whether that just be a flawed hero in the sense of a superhero or whatever, or a hero of a story.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does instill hope, commonality between all of us, between me and that person, something I could relate to. I don't find I could see where if a hero became flawed and you previously did not see them as such,
Right.
where hope is lost, not gained.
Yeah.
So there's definitely that. But I guess it does depend on when the flaw occurs, or when I'm aware of it. I think if they're presented as a flawed person, a flawed hero, whatever,
Yeah.
I can get behind it. Awesome. But the flaw coming there, like after they've been presented as untouchable, perfect, all the things, it's always a bummer to find out, but it's also human. It just depends on what we're talking about. If we're talking about just a straight up novel, then I think I'm more indifferent. It's whatever. We're then taking it from off the page into real life, where you think of your heroes, that it does matter when that flaw occurs, at least for me.
I can see that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
Where you get behind them because they're flawed, and because I can see myself
stay behind them
because I'm there. I see myself in them, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
They've been upfront about this, but when that flaw comes out later,
Yeah.
it's definitely it's not a great feeling. It's human, but it's not a great feeling. That's where my mind's at right now.
I like that. I can respect that.
Yeah.
I can
about
definitely
you?
respect that. There's a deeper side of this answer, but I'll try to let a shallow one. I generally like my heroes to be unachievable.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've already internalized the thought that if you shoot for the sky, you land on a cloud,
Yeah.
right? So I generally like my heroes to be, I'm not gonna say like no flaws, but as close to perfect as we can be, or that we can view. And once that mold is broken and they're just like us, what's the saying in Incredibles? If everyone's special, then no one's special.
Yeah.
It kind of breaks that glass ceiling. I think that the journey to becoming a hero, or the hero that you dream of or that you want, is much more important than focusing on the hero and what may and will bring them down.
Yeah.
You know? Anime reference here. Brought this up before. My Hero Academia.
Yeah, I knew you were going to get there.
I truly do think that All Might, the way that he was introduced, and Deku, the way that he was introduced, is the perfect way to introduce a very, very weak but motivated character, the average human, and a character who's almost godlike. You know, not trying to be blasphemous or anything, but that's what All Might is supposed to be.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be by far the strongest hero ever in history. Even the greatest heroes could never be as strong as him. And then you start off by Deku. This is the story of how I became the greatest hero ever. And I was so intrigued because I'm like, he's weak. He's a crybaby. He has all these flaws. Mm-hmm. How did you become this? So I guess circling back, I don't have a problem with my heroes having flaws as long as it was in the growth process.
Yes.
Like if it happens after they're already my hero, we're now on the same page probably, right? Yeah. But if it happens like this is a part of his story, I think that it adds to the lore. Right, he grew through this. He made it through that, and it adds to the lore, and it becomes more motivational. It can also be very crushing. I made a post on Facebook, and funny because Facebook reminded me of it like this year. I made this post years and years and years ago, showing you guys how old I am. But it was something like, and eventually. One day you wake up and realize that there's no such thing as heroes and you have to save yourself. Yeah. Yeah, you have to be the one to be the hero that you always thought you would come save you. And I did that because when I was younger, I truly had a hard time. Mm-hmm. And I do remember those moments where I was like, damn, I wish... Someone would come. Yeah.
Someone would show up.
And eventually, you forget about that and you just get stronger and you become that. And I think that's important for everyone, everyone. So, all right. 5 hard questions, guys.
5 hard questions.
Thanks for making it through that.
Let us know what your answers would be.
Yes, super interested to hear.
What sparked in your mind when they were asked. And also, respond to our answers. Whether you agree, disagree, whatever the case may be, let us know. The whole point of the podcast and the 5 hard questions, by extension, is to create conversation around them. Mm-hmm. I'm actually going to earlier in the week, I thought about making a Reddit. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be our questions.
The Margins Podcast Reddit. We're going to have a subreddit that's going to post all of our 5 hard questions from each episode, which will allow you guys to discuss them in a forum.
Love that.
So keep your eye out for that.
Alrighty. With that said, we are now going into our favorite zone, the spoiler zone. So for all of you that have not read this, so if you're watching this when we release it, none of you have read it. No. Unless you have the ARC.
Unless you're an ARC reader.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a small amount of people. So if you guys have not read it, this is the point where you guys turn us off.
Turn us off.
Turn the TV off.
Yeah. Oh, if you're watching us on your TV, thank you so much.
That's super cool.
Pulled us up on the app and everything. That. So
big
cool.
Screen.
Appreciate you. But if this is now August 19th or forward, wait, 19th is that when the book comes out?
Don't have a calendar in front of me.
I'm going to pull up the calendar right now because I think I got that date mixed up with something else. No, it is the 19th. It's also... but yes. If it is August 19th or forward, you do have the opportunity to purchase this book on all your favorite book sites and stores, especially those independent bookstores we support. But yeah, spoiler zone. You can go ahead and find the timestamp in the description on whatever platform you are listening to us. Come back next week for our next book, and we look forward to talking to you guys.
Thank you guys for listening.
Yeah, but for all you spoilies, let's get into it.
All right.
So, the Mirrorverse.
I could have did without it.
Yeah.
I was actually probably more intrigued before the Mirrorverse popped up.
Yeah.
You know
with
what I mean?
her, with Anja possibly figuring it out
Yes.
on her own,
Yes.
with the wits that she had already explained, her expertise.
Because the book would have been more about Anja and her expertise and her overcoming this thing.
Yeah.
Right? Rather than adding this extra plot device or this extra evil, right? Right now, before the Mirrorverse, the evil is the sickness. And she has to overcome the sickness by any means necessary. She's the person. She spent half the book building the world of around you and understanding like, oh, there's no one else who's interested in this. There's other people who do poisons, but she's the best. She has this great backstory into why she got into it, right? Her cousin thought it was a carrot.
Yeah.
And
smart ass.
Ate it, died in 2 hours.
Jackass.
So I think that I was hooked.
Yeah.
Like I was ready to read the rest of that book. And then they introduced the Mirrorverse and I called you. I was like, bro, we're fucking halfway through the book.
And you're just now getting started.
Yeah. I was like, okay, now I have to reset.
Yeah.
And get into this second part, which I did.
You have to mourn the loss of what you thought it was going to be.
Right. But T. Kingfisher, great author. So I was able to get back into it. But I will say, T. Kingfisher, that I do think that you could have wrote this whole book without the fantastical element, like in the mirror world. I think that it was so interesting. I think that you're able to get... I'm not going to say fantasy doesn't... I'm not going to say fantasy is detrimental to get into deep characters, but I think that when you don't have fantastical elements, it makes you rely on characters, their development, and the relations between each other, rather than just like, oh, I just really love this magic system, right?
Yeah. The fact that you can almost take the magic system or the fantastical out of this story and put in something else, it would still be great.
Yeah.
Like make some sort of whatever it may be. I'm not going to try to write the book. I'm not, again, scholar in any way. I do write stories. I do write screenplays.
Yeah, right.
So I could. I mean, I could, but
we're not. That's not what we're here for.
But that's not what we're doing.
Not saying that it doesn't take anything away from the book. It's still a great book.
If anything, it's more of a good on you for being so great at character development and even just story in general that we were sold on just her being about poisons.
Yeah, bare bones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All about it. I loved... Actually, I really did, because we're in the spoiler zone. I thought Aaron was going to be the love interest initially.
That's what I was just thinking. Yeah. Just because, like, when she was crossing the street and he was the one, and he was
the one first. Yeah.
When she was trying to heal the guy and he died, and he was right there, and I was like, oh, they're connecting. Okay, no problem. Like, and he's the outgoing one, right?
Yeah.
And he's the confident one. And once you learn more about Javier, you realize that he's not confident. He's just not verbal like Aaron. He's not like outward. Which
brings up the whole was it The Office that had the olives story? I just did air quotes. Where even I think in whatever episode, whatever show that I'm talking about, it ended up being a false thing anyway, but where every relationship there's someone who likes olives and someone who doesn't, and that's what makes them work, whatever it may be. So in this case though, Javier is like the more quiet, reserved one, not because of self-doubt or anything.
Yeah,
he's lived a life.
Yeah,
he's very sure of himself. But Anja, is the opposite, where she's very outspoken, quirky, and just kind of like will say what she's thinking.
There's moments where she has to stop.
Yeah, to her detriment.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't see it coming, but I was pleasantly surprised. I did like how that ended up being, and how Javier ended up describing Aaron, not as someone who would be like not trustworthy, but because of his perspective, could be weirded out or worried or whatever it may be, where he would jump to conclusions.
Yeah, Javier was definitely the better choice in terms of getting him into the mirror world and understanding, I know what's getting the princess sick and this is what it is, and not turning into something that would have got out of control.
Yeah.
He was definitely the person for that, and he really helped her get a hold and a grasp of what's going on, right?
Yeah.
Like, because the way that he dealt with it was in stride, and so she therefore kind of took it in stride as well.
He backed her, as a great partner would, and then also supplied logic in moments of worry.
Yeah.
Which is another great thing to have in a partnership, where, one person is on the edge and the other person's like, look, we've got X, Y, and Z still. We're good.
Yeah.
So why don't you take a step back?
Absolutely. They were good.
They were good.
It was a good coupling.
Yeah. So I did like that.
I wanted more of the king.
Me too.
He just
That's a great point. I did too.
just disappeared. They were building his character. She built his character, and then
We didn't see a dark side to him.
No.
Which it's not that it's what
Killed
I
his
expected. I was waiting, not because like I thought I was expecting him to be a villain at any time. I did not. But I was waiting for there to be an edge of, if you don't do this. I know that Anja basically kept assuming that was the case.
yeah,
That either I get this right or
backlash. Yeah,
but he still, to the very end, didn't ever show that. The one thing that like you were like, oh, it wasn't even out of character. I was just surprised, and then he quickly was corrected, but and moved forward. But when Anja disrespected his aunt,
yeah,
and he shows a moment of anger,
which I liked.
Yeah, me too.
I love
Me too.
depth in shallow characters. It's like, there's more to this.
Yes.
So
when he showed that's when I was like, oh, there could be something, but no, there wasn't.
no, that was it.
Yeah.
That was basically the end of his story.
And then he never comes back.
He never comes back, which I did want more, because my relationship to Princess Snow was the king.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I met her.
Yeah.
And so even when you get to the climax and you realize, like, oh shit, or the resolution or whatever you want to call it, and you're like, oh, so her sister was killed by a mirror person.
Yeah.
Her mirror image took her heart, became her.
Well, by the queen. The mirror queen.
Well, the mirror. Yeah, okay. So the mirror. Well, so the mirror queen killed her, and the mirror little sister
Had to eat the heart.
Had to eat the heart to become her.
Yeah.
Got outside the mirror world, was acting like her.
And then real queen said,
real queen
the fuck you are.
Found out. Yeah. And then she took her heart out.
Yeah.
What was she gonna do with that?
Yeah.
Like, so she took her heart out, and then the king saw that, ended up killing the queen because he thought she went crazy. In truth, the king knew about the mirror world the whole time, because her kingdom is the one that was making these fucking magic mirrors. And I wanted more clarity. Is it just their mirrors that she makes in her kingdom that are magical? You forgot about that part? So
I didn't catch that.
The queen comes from the kingdom that creates all these fucking mirrors.
Huh. Yeah,
and that's why she knew already.
I missed that.
Yeah, that's
I had no
why
idea. I was getting a little bit of, and I'll be the first to say that I haven't seen it. I only know the synopsis. But Us, Jordan Peele.
Oh yeah.
Because that is what.
Yeah.
mirror person.
It's your mirror person.
It's your mirror person.
Yeah. It's creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's creepy.
I've been explained. I don't know why I didn't end up watching it. I still am down to watch it.
It's great.
Just have
It's
not
worth
watched it. But I can't remember who ended up telling me. I think it was a director I was working with to give me a little bit of backstory on something I was working on. But they spoiled it for me. They spoiled
Not
it.
really. You can watch it and
still be entertained.
Yeah.
That's coming from the guy that loves spoilers. But with that said, that was something as I was reading it, I was like, oh, this is like that. That's super cool. Super interesting.
Yeah.
For them to be activated, they needed their counterparts' blood from the other side. And then in order for them to be able to live on the other side, they needed to eat the heart of their counterpart. So take it that much further. The twist of the fact that the Mirror Queen tricked Snow into thinking that her sister was still alive by propping up her sister's dead body.
Yeah.
Dirty Queen. Dirty.
It was dirty, but that was the beginning of what I thought was slightly anticlimactic end.
Yeah.
Slightly. Mm-hmm. I liked the end. It wasn't bad.
No.
It was just, I thought there was going to be more blood.
Yeah.
You know?
I told you, and again, I know it's going to come off as a critique, and I apologize for that. Not apologize, but I do preface it with that. It was so much so, like, the death of the queen, the Mirror Queen, like,
it came
and went that I was like, did I miss it? And sure enough, I had. And I get, like, how she did it with the whole mirror on the mirror thing, and I get it because it was referenced earlier.
Yeah, she's going to turn to dust when she gets outside the mirror.
Yeah, it just wasn't, like, what I was hoping. Yeah, I guess I was wanting to see, not blood. I wasn't blood, but like some sort of like vengeance.
Killed people. Multiple people.
Yeah.
I expected more, which I get it, no problem. You know, pushed her outside the mirror. She turns to dust because she doesn't have a counterpart to reflect and come back to life. Voldemort. I love it. It's very consistent. Yeah. I'm not mad at the end. It was good. You know, I'm not mad. I think that the whole book is very consistent. There is no plot armor for Anja or Javier, you know, and or anyone. And I think it was cool. For the people who are wondering about the Snow White aspect that are still here, so the princess' name is Snow. She has like white hair. Very blonde to white hair or something. Whatever. She's pale, but she's also sick as fuck. So I don't know if she's pale by nature or if she's pale because she's sick, but she's pale. And she's eating apples that are they're poisoning her. Mm-hmm. And then they're obviously the mirror on the wall. Mm-hmm. And there's references of witches and I
kept telling Cristiano that I thought it was more so Alice in Wonderland because there's also that cat.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
You know, that's helped the shadow cat that's assisting throughout it. And I was like, oh, there's a cat, there's a mirror, there's a whole nother world.
I did like how that ended though. Mm-hmm. Like her relationship with the cat, how she told the cat to keep an eye on her mirror aunt.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. The aunt was a super cool character too. I did like her.
She was cool. You know, I didn't care for the twist with the nurse.
Oh, neither did I.
I didn't really care for that though.
It ended up being that the nurse was assisting the Mirror Queen, but not out of like actually I would have liked it to be more so because of some ill will, but it wasn't. It was just that she was being fooled.
Yeah, she got fooled.
Yeah, she got fooled. And it was all due to guilt and something that she thought she had done, but it wasn't the case. The aunt, though, I kept picturing the Game of Thrones.
Cersei?
No, the lady who ends up. Spoiler for Game of Thrones. I don't know why I needed to say that, but we'll just say it. But the one that kills Joffrey.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. What's her name?
Does it have something to do with Rose?
She is... Man, I know her name. I love Game of Thrones.
Anyway, her. But yeah, that's the actress that I was thinking of the whole time, yeah.
though. Yeah, I fuck with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fuck with it.
There's plenty of other ones that could be, eccentric that would be great, but she was just who naturally came to mind.
I loved her. She was a good character.
Yeah, great character.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the end of the spoiler zone. Sorry, guys, if you wanted more spoilers. We bounced around because you gotta read the book.
Yeah, read the book.
Read the book, bro.
Dude, don't be that way. Just read the book.
It's worth it. It's a fun read. It's not a crazy long read. And I think it's worth copping.
Yeah.
Check it out. Let us know how you like it. I'm not saying it's going to be your favorite book on your shelf, but it's worth adding to the collection.
Yeah. As I love the heroine that we're given. Anja is someone fun to listen to. She'll probably remind you of that one friend that you have that is kind of out of pocket,
A little bit outspoken.
living her own life.
Yeah.
Beat of her own drum.
Yeah.
So.
I just like reading older characters.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Like that, I love young adult stuff. I've one of the first series I recommended to you was a kid to teenage series, right? Mm-hmm. The Young Wizard series. Yeah. Which you still have to read.
Yeah.
Awesome. But I do think that there's a personal interest in reading people who are around our age. They go through very similar stuff, and they're really easy to read and fun to read.
They have that at least that much wisdom.
Yeah.
Acquired. So, yeah.
All right.
Thank you again, T. Kingfisher, for allowing us to be one of the ARC readers for this.
Yes.
We're looking forward to...
This is a fun arc. It's fun arc.
Yeah, we're looking forward to Nettle and Bone, Clockwork Boys. Emma, again, thank you for pointing us in the right direction of T. Kingfisher. We're looking forward to reviewing more of your guys' suggestions, so be sure to let us know. Let them know. Let them know.
Do you want to let them know what we're reviewing next week?
Yes.
Yes, we know. We decided.
Not that.
No, it's women's.
Okay, cool. That's what I was thinking. We are doing the highly acclaimed author, Kristen Hanna, specifically her book, The Women, where we will follow
See, I added that ass,
Frankie McGrath in Vietnam.
It's gonna be good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
One of us has read it already.
Yeah, him. I'm playing catch up this week finally.
Yeah.
No worries,
He
guys.
decided to jump to another series.
I did.
He does that. Yeah. But he's also one of those crazy people that reads multiple books at a time. So
keep it fun. Keep it light, guys. Keep it fun.
Yeah. How old was Anja? Was it 27 or was it 35?
She was between 27 and 35.
What would happen if you're reading multiple books, huh? Anyway.
That's exactly what happened when we read multiple books.
Multiple books. So join us next week for The Women by Kristen Hanna. Between now and then, please like and follow us on TikTok, Instagram.
Share.
All the shit.
Let people know. Like, read this book. This is why you need to read this book. Watch this episode.
Yeah. Let us know of events that are going on, any of the bookstores that you guys love. We are in the LA County.
We'll pull up.
We will definitely pull up.
If it's in LA County, we'll pull up.
Yeah.
If it's really good, I'll go to Orange County.
Will we go to San Diego?
If it has to be fucking
pretty big.
Top flight.
Yeah.
Top flight.
I agree. Southern California. Let's keep it to that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you again. Thank you. Thank you. So from Yu Yu Hakusho to Powerline, we wish you a great week with all the best things.
Yes. See you guys next week.
We'll see you next week.